Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We got a pretty big update video for you today on a new major event in Escape from Tarkov. The in-game event is called the Labyrinth. This event exists both in PvE and PvP modes, and there's going to be an achievement with it once you do the whole task line. Now, this is going to be an initial guide to get you through the first half a dozen, 10 tasks that there are. And as the event progresses, if there's more tasks that pop up, we'll throw in more guides to keep you guys up to speed through the whole thing as we get through it. Now, there are arena tasks with this, but this one's focused for Tarkov. The arena tasks unlock barters for ref and stuff, but they don't really require a guide, and I don't think they're needed for anything as far as what we know so far. So if you want to play arena, by all means, go do that, do those tasks, but you don't really need a guide for them. They're pretty self-explanatory. Now, the first task is going to start at mechanic, but real quick, I want to get two things ahead of for you here because it's going to save you some time in the future. You need to get two sets of items. The first is the Zulu nylon rigs, which are on Ragman. So they're pretty straightforward. They're right here. You can buy 4 of them on Ragman. So buy those 4 and stash them away. You need to buy 6 of them eventually from him, but as long as you buy them now, he'll reset by the time you need to buy the others, and you can get the other 2. And the reason I say that is because right now they're kind of expensive. Paying 9,000 versus 30 or 40 or 50,000, choice is up to you, and they might get cheaper. So look at this. If they've gotten cheaper because the event's progressed, don't worry about it. But as of right now, it's better to buy the 6 you need from Ragman, save yourself a little bit of trouble. The other thing you're going to need to get is any class 4 plate. Now, the quest looks like you have to use these ones from Peacekeeper, and a lot of people thought that, including me initially when we did this. You do not have to use the Monoclete PE plate. You don't have to do that. And as you can see, they're kind of expensive right now. And the reason is because of this task until people kind of figure out you don't need to use these. Any level 4 plate will work. You can buy damaged ones. You could barter for armor. It doesn't matter. I think Skier, let me look here. Skier's got a couple of different kinds that are class 4 that you can buy off of him for pretty cheap. 18, 20,000, they'll all work. They're heavier, but they still work for this task. And you will need 6 of those as well, of any kind, unless you want to sell the 6 that Ragman gives you for the task, which means you need to buy 12. So you need 12 total, depending on how you want to do it. But if you start buying those now and have them ready, then you don't have to worry about trader resets and stuff like that. It's a little ways down the task line, but I wanted to get that information to you first before we get too far in and you get to where you need them and then you can't buy them because of the trader reset. So with that out of the way, let's get into the first task. Now I'm going to use the wiki here because these guys are a fantastic resource. First thing in the morning, you know, they're not 100% updated because it takes a lot of effort. They've got all the info, they just don't have the hands to get it. If you want to help out in the community a ton, go to the EFT wiki Discord, learn how to help these guys out. They can always use the extra help from people that mean well and not are just trolling. But a lot of work, a little bit of work goes a long way in helping these guys out. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. But done plugging that. First task is up. Is the Shady Contractor. You'll get this from Mechanic. The only requirement is you have to be level 21. If you're under level 21, you won't get it. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to go to Ground Zero and get the Manager's Diary. Now, if you've not been to Ground Zero yet, I don't know what else to tell you. On the south end of the map, if you will, down by Capital Insight and the Nakatani Tower, there's this little 2-story building right here. It's kind of like a dealership kind of deal. There is a black Lexus car outside of that with the door open. That is what you're looking for. These screenshots are here. We'll show you a clip of me finding it, but these screenshots show as well where that car is. The spawn for the diary can be on the dashboard, it can be on the seat, or it can be in the trunk. There may be more spots. It's there always. It's a quest item. It's not something like if somebody picks it up, you can't get it. So if you don't see it in those 3 spots, look elsewhere. It is there somewhere in that car. Then obviously you have to extract with that. You give it to Mechanic and he gives you the next task, which is Needle in a Haystack. This one is, it's not hard, but it's kind of annoying. You have to go to 4 different maps and go to areas. You're going to be going back to Ground Zero, interchange streets, and shoreline. So on Ground Zero, pretty simply put, all you have to do is go to the courtyard of the Terra Group building. All you have to do is get in this box, it dings, and you don't have to survive. We got lucky. We got there. We spawned in. We sprinted toward it, hopped in car, extracted. We were good to go. That's it for Ground Zero. On interchange, you need to go to the cart track and the playground. Now, a lot of people thought they were talking about the playground that's outside. There is, out by the stage. There's this playground right here, kind of where I'm circling over, but that's not where you're going. You're going to go to the cart track, which is outside, and the playground that you're going to go to is inside Ollie. It's there on the side of the store where you head to the rest of the mall where those big doors are at. There's a playground there. You got to go inside of that and you're done. That's it for interchange. Easier said than done, obviously. But for streets, it's the Concordia playground. There's a playground, this box right here in Concordia. You'll see it. It's easy to see. There's some other stuff on this other side. It's not that. It's this area right here. You go into that, you get your task. And then the last one is going to be Shoreline. There's two places you got to go. You got to go to the construction site down on the coastline. It's not the whole area. It's not the whole blue fenced in area. It's kind of in the middle. We got lucky and spawned right here. And as soon as we crossed the fence, we got it, which was handy. The other one is going to be behind East Wing. There's a fenced in playground back here. Same kind of deal. Just get inside it and it checks off. Once that's done, you don't have to survive. You just turn it back into mechanic and you're going to go on to the next task, which is hidden hidden layer. Quick note here, just so you guys know, if I'm flubbing some of my words, I apologize. It's been a long day. We did a lot of tasking to get through this. It's late at night. I'm trying to get this task to the editor so they can get it out for you guys. So sorry if I'm tired, flub some of my words, get some stuff backwards, have a joke at it. It's perfectly fine. But please excuse the any mistakes I make as far as that's concerned. Into hidden layer, said it right this time. This is a little bit more challenging of a task. And we're going to go into raid to show you, but basically you need to find a key. It is the Gnosis key. It's on Shoreline, and right now it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 known spawns. There might be more. I'm going to give you the 5 that we know of. We've had a lot of luck with them. Every one of us has gotten 2 keys out of it, just as we've been going in and out of Shoreline. So it is there. You just got to be the first one to the resort usually to get it. So let's hop into an offline raid real quick. I'll run up to resort and I'll show you guys where the spawns are at so that you can find it. Okay, so here's going to be our first spawn. We are outside of East Wing. If you know, there's the Smuggler's Depot, just where Shoreline, where the fire truck is. We're going to go inside, and your first spawn is right inside this building. It's going to be on this table right here. Obviously, I'm in offline raid mode, so the key's going to show up in one of these spots, hopefully. But that table is where you're going to look. We're going to go on to the next key spawn, which is going to be inside here. Okay, now we're outside East Wing. There's going to be 2 spawns kind of close to each other. They're going to be inside here. So you're going to come in, you're going to go up the stairs to 2nd floor, and you're going to go to this little utility room right here. And there it is right there. There's the key in this offline raid. So that's going to be the only place we find it here, but I'll show you where the other places is. But there's the 2nd floor. The other place is going to be on the 3rd floor. Same spot. Come up here, run around the corner, and it'll be in this same area right here. Okay. The next spawn is going to be an admin, so let's run over there real quick. Okay, so just so everybody has a lay of the land, we're outside of admin here. You're going to go upstairs and you go into the office. It's going to be the same office where I believe it's the 216 key spawns. It's this one right here, this office, the one that's got the door knocked off of it. You come in on here, and I almost missed it. We got a little clip of it we can show you maybe, but it'll be right here on this little lamp deal. It's kind of hard to see because it's the same color. So that is the 4th spawn. The 5th one is going to be over in West Wing, so we'll run over there real quick. And that is honestly where we found it the most, and it's because we run by it when we're going to do the rest of the tasks. So let's head over to West Wing real quick, and I'll show you where that's at. All right, so for what I know now of the 5th and final location, there might be more added. If you think so, check the wiki. But this is the 5th and final one that I know of. Is going to be inside West Wing. We're right at the front door. As you can see, there's the helicopter. Right in this little computer room office right here, there is a spawn. Oh, look, there's another spawn. I think that means that there can be more than one key a match if it's showing it up an offline raid like that. I think that means that maybe there can be more than one per match. That is a good thing to know. I can't guarantee that, but you can see the spawn right there. That's one of the other keys. So those we found several there for sure. Running in here, we check that real quick. But those are your 5 key spawns. That's what you need for finding the keys. Now, for the other part of the task, it's pretty straightforward. You just got to go down and find the door. And we're still on West Wing. Just get you guys your bearings. And we're going to go down in the basement. And this is going to be the new area. It's going to be the transit to the labyrinth, but we'll get to that in a sec. It's going to be right here. And if you look, that is Russian for Gnosis. I keep saying it wrong, which is Greek. Use your key, opens up the door, and yeah, nice little fancy new room. Can't see in here, unfortunately, but you drop down, you come in, you're going to get your 2 tasks complete. Or 2 subtasks complete to complete the task, and then that's it. You turn it into mechanic and you're finished. Okay, so now this is the little bit of the tricky part. There's 2, once you complete that task, that hidden layer, there's 2 time gates that start, one that's 30 minutes and one that is 5 hours. The 5 hours leads to another set of tests that tasks that we'll get to after we go through these. The 30 minutes leads to one that's going to come from Ragman, and that is going to be sensory analysis part 1. Now, these aren't required, but I do suggest doing them because they can be a little bit more tough, but they do give you some pretty good rewards as far as key cards and things like that. It'll also make some of the later tasks a little bit easier to do if you do these. Plus, you're going to be sitting around waiting 5 hours for those anyways. So unless you're getting off for the day or whatever, you've got time to kill to get these done. So sensory analysis, a half hour after you do hidden layer, this pops up. You get a task from Ragman. He gives you a bottle of moonshine. You have to take that bottle of moonshine to the BTR driver. You can do that on streets or woods. As of right now, as far as I know, woods has an 80% spawn rate for the BTR and streets have 70%. I feel like you pretty much see it every raid, but there's a possibility you won't see it in a raid. We went woods. There was 4 of us, so we could split up and catch both places that we think it spawns, and we got in that way. Now, this task kind of works like Postman Pat, where it's got 2 different traders and the way it works, and it's even funkier because it's the BTR driver. Basically, you get into the BTR, you go through the dialogue, you hand the BTR driver the moonshine, which is one selection, and then you have another piece that's finishing the task, essentially. Make sure you do both of those parts. It is 2 parts. You have to do both of those in the BTR before you get out. And that will complete step. The funny part is you complete part 2 before you complete part 1. So you'll go in, you'll turn in part 2, or you'll finish part 2 with the BTR driver. And then when you get out of raid, sensory analysis part 1 will be able to be completed with Ragman, which will lead to the next task, which is Hot Zone. Now, Hot Zone is kind of one of the, I don't want to say it's the most difficult, but it's kind of one of the scarier, higher risk ones you got to do, because it requires you to do some pretty crazy planting. You've got to plant 12 items on customs and 12 items on reserve. The 12 items on customs are the rigs, the Zulus I told you to buy earlier, right? Hopefully you'll have 12 of them now, because Ragman will give you 6. You can technically get this done in one raid, but it requires you to buy 4 partisan bags and have a raid bag. You take the rigs, you can put 3 rigs in each partisan bag, and 4, that makes 12, and all 4 of the partisan bags will fit in your raid bag. But that is quite a bit of money. Partisan bags are expensive right now, I think, because of this. I saw them push 250, 300K. The good news is you can use them and just sell them back, but that's assuming you survive. Taking that much into a single raid, especially if you're solos, are pretty big risk, especially, I mean, I already saw Stank Camp in New Gas, so expect it to be a fight to get in there unless you spawn really close. Now, the spawn point is inside New Gas, the unlocked office on the left. So you go into New Gas, you open up the door by the bathroom, and instead of going down to the locker room on the end, it's the first door on your left. Open it up, plant. It is 5 seconds per item. And remember the little trick. Some of you might know this, some of you might not. When you're planting multiple items, once you finish planting, just hit tab real quick, into your inventory, out of your inventory, and it'll let you plant again right away. Otherwise, there's a couple of second delay. I honestly don't even know what it is because it's been so long since I've waited for it. But that way you're just 5 seconds and you're burning through all your plants. You can get stuff down pretty quick. But again, you got to do 12 of them. I would suggest you try to do this. You break this up over a couple of raids, maybe even 3. Bring in 4 per raid, so you're not risking as much. But if you want to risk it for the biscuit, that's up to you. 6, 12, however you want to do, that's on you. The next one you're going to go to is going to be reserve. Now reserve is on the roof of Black Knight. And luckily when we did this, people weren't sure what was going on yet. This is going to be very difficult to do, to the point where I hate to say it, but it might be worth bringing smoke grenades in, and throwing smoke grenades down, to give you time to plant your plates, because you need to go to the roof of Black Knight, which is out in the open, and it's clear and easy to see from 5 or 6 different spots to shoot you here. And there's going to be people trying to do Shootborn in Heaven, people trying to get, Shooter 8 and Psycho Sniper, or all the other Tarkov shooters. You're literally a fish in a barrel here doing this. It does kind of suck. So that's where smokes might come in handy. Don't throw them at your feet. Push them out a little bit. Make a nice smoke cloud. Get your stuff laid down. Make it so it's hard for people to see you when you're doing your stuff. But again, 12 plates. It has to be class 4 plates. It does not have to be the mono cleats that Ragman gives you. You can use those. That's fine, and they're great because they're real light. Getting more of them can prove to be difficult. As you saw, they were pretty expensive. You can get them out of the Trooper barter, but those items got to be expensive as well. So the Trooper armor has 2 of them in each, or you can use other class 4 plates. Any plate that's class 4 works. Again, Skier has several, and you can buy them off the flea market. You can pull them out of rigs, off of scavs, whatever you want to do. They'll work. The difference is they've got to, they're just going to be heavy. That's the nice thing about the monocleats, is they're really light. Carrying 6 or 12 plates of other things is going to put you pretty overweight. So that's that. You plant those 12 and you're done. Much easier said than done, but that gets you through Hot Zone, which that's the end of your tasks. After this, you're into that 5-hour period that I told you about. So if you get those 2 done much quicker than 5 hours, which we did, great, but you're going to be waiting for the next set of tasks. And the wiki hasn't been updated on these yet. Hopefully they will over the next day or 2. So I won't have any great graphics to show you guys for these next couple of tasks. Don't really need them. 1, because I haven't got through all of them, but 2, they're pretty straightforward. So let's get into the task screen on Tarkov, and I'll show you the next one, which is Forced Alliance. Okay, so 5 hours after you complete Hidden Layer, this one will show up. And if it doesn't, restart your game, all that kind of mumbo jumbo. Let me get to it real quick. Get to Forced Alliance, which should be down here at the bottom. Pretty straightforward. If you did some of your trips into Labyrinth already with key cards you got from doing the other tasks, this will pretty much complete. It says find a way to get behind the health resort bunker door on Shoreline. Optional assist therapist with her investigation. It's just about getting key cards. So you get your key cards. This will pop up. So we had everything else done. We had done a trip into Labyrinth already at this point. This quest popped up, and I just accepted it and completed it, and that was it. So pretty straightforward and pretty simple to lead to the next one, which is Offensive Reconnaissance, again with mechanic, and this one is find out what is behind the health resort bunker door. You get your key card, you go there, you go into Labyrinth. That's it. You don't even have to survive, you don't have to do anything else. You just have to make the transit and you're done. This completes, and you can move forward with this task, which whether you do this one or the other one first doesn't matter. That's just the order of it. The other one out there is the Tarkov Butcher. You're going to get this one as well once you complete Forced Alliance. And this one's a little more complicated. So what this boils down to is you have to go to Ground Zero, get an item, and then plant that item on Shoreline. Really easy said than done. So what you're going to do is you are going to go to Ground Zero. You're going to go to the basement, the parking garage, not parking garage, but the road that's underground. And on the south end, no matter what building you go down through, there is a large truck with some meat in the back of it. And you can, the quest image shows it right here. That's where you're going to get in, is this truck right here, which it shows in your quest image. Easier said than done. We'll show you a clip here of it. Basically, it's just a meat wagon. You run to the back of it. We found the cylinder in the actual chopped off hand in the garbage bag. If it's not there, kind of look around. It's going to be somewhere in there. It's just a large cylinder, chemical container. Grab that, and then you have to extract. This is the tough part of it. You got to take this item to another map and plant it. So Ground Zero, extract, and now you're on the way to Shoreline. Now, once you get to Shoreline, again, this is the sucky part, especially if you don't spawn close. If you spawn on the east side of the map, it sucks because you got to go to the west side. The plant location is the ambulance inside the cottages, inside the fence of the cottages where Sanitar spawns. You do this for Colleagues Part 1 and some of the other, I think it's Colleagues Part 1, where you got to plant the markers and all this stuff and run over the bodies. It's that ambulance. So the place we found that you plant this item, you hide this item, is by the front passenger wheel, kind of a little area right there to plant this item. Plant it there, and I wonder if I can say plant 5 more times. Hide it, whatever. Get it put in there, and that's that. Again, you don't have to survive. That's the end of Tarkov Butcher. Now, the nice thing about this is this task is important to do because 1, it gives you a key case, which is nice. 2, it gives you 5 of these key cards, which are very expensive, and also it unlocks the purchase from Therapist of the key card, the straight purchase, which is on. Is it on loyalty level 1? It is. It's on loyalty level 1 Therapist, 268k. The reason I say that's important is because if you go look at the barters for the other ones, which is it Ragman? I don't remember exactly where the barter was, but it's, yeah, Ragman. This is super expensive. Gold chains went through the roof for this. Maybe they'll get a little bit. They were like 90k earlier, so they've gotten cheaper. But nonetheless, this is like 400 to 500k right now. Maybe it gets a little cheaper, but it's a lot more expensive. And these are your key cards to get down into the area. So that's why the butcher is important. Now, once you get those tasks done, you're going to get some more to show up here. Let me pull them up and just show them to you like this. Sort them by location and go to the labyrinth. I think it's 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them you get. I don't have them done yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a series of them here. What happens this is where the other task guide is going to come in. Once we get through more of this and I can show you guys, I will. I just didn't get there today. We'll try to get some more footage and get some of the stuff better for you guys and continue this guide going forward. First one's hypothesis test. You have to locate the library with the prototype weapon inside the labyrinth. This is the nuke. I don't want to give away too much for it, but you go in there. It's kind of in the middle area, and then you got to find the Labyrinth research notes. Let me pull these up here. I think you can buy them. You can't, so I'll just pull them up here. Labyrinth research notes. This is what they look like. You need to turn 5 of them found in raid. I got 1 turned in. We've found at least 1 every time we've gone down there, and I know you can get them elsewhere. I think people are getting them out of their scav case, and I think maybe they're finding them in other parts of the game, but don't quote me on that. We've only found ours down there so far. You get 5 of those, you turn that in, gives you your rewards. Vacate the premises is killing 24 PMCs down there. This is going to be the most difficult of all of them. At most, we've seen 2 PMCs down there besides us. Now, part of that's because we ran 4 mans for part of the day and then 3 mans, and then we did 1 duo. But when we did duos and trios, it was usually just 1 other player. It wasn't usually 2. There was once, but this is going to be a tough one to do. It's going to take a while to get 24 kills down there. Keep that in mind. Then confidential info. So this is locate and obtain the special storage module inside the labyrinth. It's same thing. It's inside that center area. You pick that up, and then you got to place a grenade in there. Again, I wish I had footage for you guys for this, but the last 2 tries I tried to get in a labyrinth, I either got steamrolled by Tagilla or I got killed by a player. So I didn't get this in there, but we will work through this tomorrow and get more task guides for you to make this more clear. The last one, Indisputable Authority is killing 6 of Tagilla's guards, which we'll talk about that in a sec, and then killing Tagilla Minotaur himself. And then the other one is this tape sucks. And this is 2-stage. It doesn't show the second one here. There's a torture room down there. It's pretty easy to find. You run to that. You look inside. But then you also have to find it's either a cassette or a thumb drive or something. And it's in the hands of one of the dead bodies, the permanent dead bodies that's right there in that area. It's got it there. You pick that up, you extract, you turn it in, you're good to go. You finish this task. So that is the task guide so far to get you guys this will get you guys through probably 10-12 hours of gameplay if I had to guess. Maybe a little less if you're better than me, maybe a little more if you're just taking things slower or you have bad luck. But we're not done yet. I want to give you guys a quick rundown of Labyrinth. I'm going to do a much more in-depth guide, but I need another day or two. I need to get through some more stuff and get some good footage and get some good guides so that I can explain to you guys exactly how everything works. But I didn't want to leave you high and dry. I want to get you a little bit more information here about, you know, just kind of the general points of the Labyrinth map and everything to it. Okay, now as always, courtesy of Reamer, who does a fantastic job, we already have a map of the Labyrinth. And full-on spoiler alert here, if you want to, and I suggest this, I'm making this because I know people want this guide, but personally, if I'm you, I would, oh God, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I would close the video now. Don't watch this. The experience of doing Labyrinth without a guide and stumbling through it was an immensely pleasurable experience. It was so much fun. It was so scary. It was so unusual for Tarkov. It was an amazing experience. So, spoiler alert here. I'm gonna spoil some stuff because I know some of you guys want that. But my advice to you is go down there once. Even if you do it in an offline raid, go down there once without the guide and just experience it how it is without any spoilers. And then come back and watch the guide video. Okay. That's my take on this. But anyways, here's Ringmer's map. It's up on the wiki already. I'm pulling it up on Twitter. I don't know why, but the way it works is there are 5 spawns on Labyrinth. That's it. It's a 5-player map. Now, if you go down there with a 5-man, you guys take and you do the transit from Shoreline, and that's how you get in there as a transit. And it works just like all other transits in the game. It's the same mechanic. You transit down there with 5 players, you will take up all 5 of these spawns. You do not spawn together. You are on the same map. You are pretty well separated, but you are all in your own 5 little rooms, puzzle rooms, if you will. And these are the starter rooms. This process also consumes everybody's key cards. It's not like one of you gets a key card and you all get in. It's like labs. Everybody needs their own key card. So keep that in mind. If you show up without one, you're not going down there. Everybody else will go without you and laugh and just leave you there. Now, each of these 5 spawns, which is these little orange circles here that are being shown, they are the player spawns and they're puzzle rooms. So each of these, a player spawns in here, and they have their own little puzzle to get out. And this is the part that's complicated. This is the part that I want to do a guide. I feel bad some of you guys are gonna be like, well, show us the guide to the puzzle rooms. I can't. I mean, I could, but I can't right now. I just need more time to put that video together, and we will. It's coming next, I promise. But you do your little puzzle in each of your room, and all 5 are different. Each one of them has their own little way to get through it. You do that, you get out, and you get into the kind of the middle area, this middle area of the bunker labyrinth place. And this is where you're going to run into Shadow of Tagilla. It's not actually Tagilla, it's Shadow of Tagilla. Shadow of Tagilla. He's got a Minotaur look. He's got this crazy helmet on. Helmet is class 6. It's steel. It's got 100 durability. So it is a pain in the ass to get through. You better be slinging M61, 993, M80A1, SNB, whatever you can. Sling lots of it fast and put Tagilla down because he's no joke. He's shooting a Saigo with AP20 or AK with Eagleneck. He's much more difficult. He's not a potato head like the one in Factory. He is difficult in here. He's hard and he will freight train you. And if he gets close enough, he has an axe now instead of a sledgehammer. And it does look like it has quite a bit more reach than a sledgehammer. And I think it one hits you. It might not. I've seen 2 players die to it and both of them got one hit by the axe, I think. So I don't know if you can survive one shot from it or not. But also down there, Tagilla has 6 guards. At least I think it's 6. That's what we've seen most of the time. They're basically scavs, kind of juiced up scavs. Some of the people compared them to the I can't remember what the AI was. It was the AI for the when they were hunting Rigi. It was on Shoreline. Can't remember what they were called, but kind of like between raiders and rogues. They're kind of like that. Just think of them as juiced up scavs. They don't have great ammo, but they've got pretty good aim and they're super aggressive. They're kind of like baby Tagillas, and they will all 6 of them will bum rush you. So be ready to fight. Make sure you kind of have bigger mags or be able to fall back after you fight them. And then after all that's said and done, you could still have Vengeful Killa to fight, which near as I can tell, he's pretty much just Killa. He doesn't seem any different. His armor doesn't seem any different. He does carry a much cooler AK from what I've seen than just the silly RPK. You can get 200 rounds of BP off of him, just so you know. But he is not 100% spawn. We've seen him down there about half of the time, but I don't know what his actual spawn rate is. Now, assuming you get through all of this, or you haven't, maybe Tagilla's on the other side of the area. Once you get into the center area, you will hear an alarm trigger. It's really loud. It scared the shit out of us the first time it happened, but it can be shut off. There's various buttons. I think there's 5, maybe there's only 4, but maybe there's fewer. I want to say there's more, but they're black boxes about head height. They've got about, I think they got 10 buttons, 5 red and 5 green, but maybe it's 12. They're industrial looking. You just press that and the alarm shuts off. That alarm is there to let players know that there's a player in the middle of the map. So perhaps you haven't got out of your room yet and you hear that, you know, oh shit, somebody's already out there in the middle. Even if they snuck out there and didn't fight anything, it's a way to kind of keep the map from being lopsided, I guess. Also, thing to keep note in the middle, this is super important. There are spikes on the floor with kind of barbed wire and stuff. They will poison you. So for not just here, but for other stuff, part of the other rooms, make sure you bring several either blue bloods, which are the Perfectorans, or the XTGs, which get rid of the toxins. Those 2 stims will do it. Super waters, augmentins, some of the other stuff, they don't do anything. It's got to be a blue blood or an XTG. Make sure you have those, because if you don't cure that poison, it will kill you very quickly. I don't remember the tick rate on it, but I want to say it's like, I don't know, 30 a sec, 20 a second, maybe it's not quite that fast. It's really fast though. It will kill you very, very quickly. It'll be hard to heal through it, especially if you don't have any way to extract. So make sure you bring those. You have them in your ejector case or your secure container, so that you can cure. Because I got down here, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, 7 times we got down here, and there was only like twice where I didn't actually accidentally poison myself and have to cure myself. So they're just around. They're hard to see. They're pretty effective traps. Now, on top of this, there's also a lot of tripwires, and they can be as soon as you come out of your starter area. Like, you'll do the puzzle and there's a door that opens. As soon as that door opens, there's a couple of these that have tripwires right outside. The bots do not trigger them, near as I can tell. Pretty sure Tagilla, Killa, and the guards can just run right through them. I didn't see it specifically, but they were moving around pretty crazily in areas where the tripwires, and they didn't set them off. So just assume that for now. With that, because there's tripwires, I suggest bringing a multi-tool and putting it in your special slot, because without the multi-tool, it's like 11 or 12 seconds to disarm a booby trap or a tripwire, whereas with a multi-tool, it's like 4 seconds or something. It's super fast, so it's easier to get around, and you're not down for 12 seconds trying to disarm a tripwire. Now, there are 2 extracts. This one right here called the Way Up. This is timed. It's always open. Once it opens, it's open. You can take it, and the extract's super fast. So if you don't want to extract, kind of stay away from there. But it opens after a certain amount of time. You can hit O, and it'll have a timer up there, I believe. You might have to walk by it when it's closed, but when it opens, you won't miss it. It's very loud. I'm trying to think of what it sounds like when it opens. It's a loud sliding, banging noise. You're not gonna miss it when it opens. And that's what that sound is it opening. And then you can just walk up to it and take it out. The other way is Ariandes. I should have listened to this. It's Greek. It has to do with the Minotaur and the Labyrinth and all the Greek mythology around that. But there's a key. I have found it on Tagilla. I found it on Killa, and I found it somewhere else, but I don't remember where that was. I could go back for this. I try to go back to the stream and figure out where I found it, but I can't. We have had 3 of them in a raid before, and obviously it wasn't on Tagilla and Killa, and then there was one somewhere else. I don't remember where I found it. It's a special key. It's green for 1 use. It disappears after you extract, whether you use it or not. So it's there. Grab that, and you can use this extract here whenever you want, if you have that, and it's got a timer on it, so it takes a little bit of a while, but it works like the secret extracts do, you know, the new note ones we have for this wipe. If your team's gonna extract, they all have to be right there. You hit it. If anybody leaves, you're leaving without them. They don't just doesn't wait. So it's kind of like a car extract in that sense, that timer starts ticking down, it's going. You've got to be there to extract. And so that's the extracts. That's how you get out. There is no transition. You extract right back to your stash. It's not like you go back to shoreline or anything. So that's pretty good. Now there is a corpse room. It's not marked very well right here, but I'm pretty sure it is right here next to the extract, if I'm remembering correctly. It is basically a marked room, but it's on steroids. Sarcastically, I explained it. It's like marked room times 5. But we went in there. We only got in there twice. But it's like multiple dog tag cases, injector cases, intels, crazy stims, hideout items, everything. The best loot you can imagine is in there, and there's a shitload of it. So if you can find the corpse room key, it spawns around the map. Now we found a couple of locations it spawns on the factory. There's a tractor here in the middle area, kind of where I'm hovering. We found it's on the fenders or the floorboards of that. It can be in the pockets or rigs of the guards, Tegila's guards, the scavs. We didn't find it on the bosses, but I bet it's probably got a chance to spawn there. I mean, I could be wrong, I'm guessing, but I'd be surprised if it didn't. And then on some of the various like cardboard boxes and kind of broken boxes around, we found it there. I think it has a ton of spawns. We haven't really narrowed it down. You got to look for it. We've only found it 3 times in about 10 raids. I don't know if it's 100% spawn. I would assume it is. And we just couldn't find it, but that might be a really bad assumption. So look for it. It's worth finding. Once you get the map cleared out, once you get the players killed and you get all the scavs cleared, you have free reign. You can run around in there for 20, 30 minutes or however long you have, and just loot everything you can get and check every nook and cranny and every corner. There is so much loot down there. We filled big bags of 3 players every time we went down there. So get the most out of it as you can. There's no rush to leave. Nothing else is coming to get you once you clean it out. Just remember there's 5 players or potentially 5 players. So there's not always. We went down there as a 3-man and didn't have anybody else with us. It was just the 3 of us once. But we also went down there as a 4-man, and we found the poor 5th soul dead because he didn't know how to navigate the trap room and he died trying to get out. Probably gonna happen, so expect it. But that is it. That is the video. God, it was long. I hope I didn't screw up anything too bad anywhere, or mistake. If you have questions, throw them down in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer what I can, or come by my stream. I stream both on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Ask questions away. We'll do our best to answer what we can. And we'll look for another day or 2 to get you a really in-depth detailed guide to Labyrinth on how to get through all the puzzle rooms if you want, as well as where to look for loot, where we're noticing things like that. So look forward to that and any follow-on guide videos for tasks, and we'll see what it takes to get the achievements. But we don't have those yet. Appreciate you guys for hanging out and watching. Hope this video was helpful. Good luck in doing this task. I hope you can get to enjoy it. I absolutely loved playing today. It was a blast. It's one of the most fun days I've had in Tarkov in a long time. It was a pretty good day. So hopefully you guys can share in that. I'm looking forward to what this means for Tarkov in the future. A lot of new mechanics in here and things like that. That's super interesting, especially when you start talking 1.0 and what BSG might be planning there. So kind of eager to see where we're going. But thank you guys for watching. As always, wouldn't be here without you. Hope you have a good raid and or good raids and a good time down in the Labyrinth, at least as good as you can, getting chased around by a psycho wearing bullhorns. But that's it. Thank you guys. We will see you in Tarkov.